Workshop 3, Making Your Hero Feel at Home. Now you've created a convincing, likeable child hero, we need a setting or landscape for them. Every story needs to take place somewhere, and the best stories have strong settings. Think of the books you have enjoyed reading and recall the settings that were used. Read over them again. The locations are an essential ingredient to these stories. A story set in Hogwarts Castle is going to turn out differently to a story set in the North Pole or in inner city London. A story can't take place in a vacuum. Without a strong sense of place, readers will feel lost. Stories with a strong sense of place take readers out of their own worlds into a different reality. And this is the greatest gift that a writer can give, the chance to escape. The success of your fictional landscapes depends on making them come alive with detail. The best landscapes we can write about are the ones that we know well. In this exercise, I want you to draw a rough map of a place you know well. It could be the town or the place you live in or once lived in, a relative's home, or a place you go to regularly on holiday. Don't name the place, but think of the streets, shops, rivers, bridges, trees, hills, hedges and roads. Draw the lines that are dangerous to cross, e.g. a busy road, a fast-flowing river, a deep lake, an old house. It doesn't have to be exact, but get as much detail as possible of that landscape. Pretend your reader is lost and write down descriptions of the landscape that will help visualize it. Remember, you want to take your readers out of their world and into yours. And the next exercise, we'll look at ways of making the landscape come alive. To be a good writer, it is important to go about your daily routine with your eyes and ears wide open, always looking for the unusual in the ordinary or a fresh perspective on commonplace things. Keep your senses alert. Think of the smells, tastes and textures you encounter. Is there a way of putting these experiences into words? Becoming more aware of the everyday world around us involves more than just looking. You must also start to smell, feel, taste, and hear the world you're trying to create. By awakening your senses and becoming more aware of the world around you, you will be enriching your grasp of the world. Once this heightened way of perceiving your environment has trickled down into your writing, your reader will benefit, getting a much fuller picture of the world you are creating. Good writing that draws in the reader must use as many of the senses as possible to convey a convincing story. Too often, writers fall into the trap of using just visual descriptions and ignoring the wealth of detail that comes through the other senses, i.e. sound, smell, taste and texture. These senses have just as strong an effect on the reader and help them step into the world you are creating on the page. So in this exercise, I want you to think of the map and landscape you described in the first workshop. Try to write down 3 things for the following. Don't worry at this stage if you can't recall 3 things for each sense. So think of sounds that can be heard, e.g. the whistle of the wind. Textures that can be felt, e.g. the rough bark of a tree. Odours that can be smelt, e.g. the fresh smell of newly mown grass. Flavours that can be tasted, e.g. the bitter dryness in your mouth that hot weather causes. And then objects that can be seen. If you can, take a walk through a similar landscape. It might be a local park, a street or a country road. Can you find sights, sounds, smells, textures, tastes that you didn't mention in the first part of the exercise? Try to capture them in words. Close your eyes and listen to all the different types of sounds you can hear. Try to come up with words that describe the sounds. Try to write down and describe everything so that your reader can see, hear, smell, touch and taste everything that you do. Don't tell the reader what is happening. Instead, show and describe it. For example, rather than saying it was raining, write about water dripping from the trees, puddles forming, clouds darkening the sky, etc. Paint a picture for the reader in words.